Antifas always lie. They're kind of like SJWs and feminists in that way. Oh wait, they are SJWs and feminists. They are literally the same people, though a particularly fanatical wing of them. And honestly, it's actually really bad when the Antifas lie all the time on the internet, because they do commit acts of violence directly. I mean, it's really bad when feminists ruin people's careers based off of blatant dishonesty. I don't like that at all. And honestly, I think most people would rather get punched in the face or even pepper sprayed than losing their career. That's probably not, you'd take it for your career, take that one hit in the face. But it's not okay to lie about people, especially on the internet, where lies can spread really, really quickly. And when people know that they are lying and they know that people are physically assaulting people based off of those lies, they should really cut it out. But Antifa people can't seem to stop doing, and I can't really figure out the exact motivation for why they're still lying, because they keep getting caught. I mean, we had Moldy Locks, that girl who has dreadlocks and is white, and she was trying to say that she was just peacefully protesting the Trump supporters, and she got punched. And then there was footage of her and Facebook posts revealing that she was directly involved in physical confrontations, that she had that intention, and that she supported the people who were throwing M80s. So she was lying about the fact that she was just this peaceful bystander that happened to get punched. Well, the Antifa people, I believe, they've been going for so long and have led to so much violence that it would be really hard to admit that you're part of a violent cult, radical terrorist group. I would be really embarrassed if I supported Antifa and I had been the type of person who had been saying that Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys were white supremacists that had ties to the alt-right. Because if I realized that that was untrue and that these people had been getting attacked physically, unfairly, because I personally had been saying things like that, I would feel really guilty. And so maybe if I was not me, maybe some people choose to keep saying the things and trying to justify them far past the point when it is justifiable, when they know perfectly well that it's not really true, but they just keep doubling down. So I direct you to Exhibit A. This photo was shown on Facebook. I was reading this conversation that these two fellows were having. One of them claimed not to be Antifa. The other one seems like a reasonable enough person. And the reasonable guy said that the Proud Boys and Patriot Prayer do not have ties to the alt-right, or something simple like that. That Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys are not alt-right. Easy enough, right? Well, this person who says that they're not Antifa decided to show this image that I'm showing to you right now. And they said that they took this photo at a Patriot Prayer rally in Portland, Oregon, and thus this proved that the Patriot Prayer people were alt-right, which obviously, no, it doesn't really prove anything. It's a Kekistani flag, and if anybody actually researches the Kekistan meme, they will note that the very early proponents were saying pretty clearly that this is not an alt-right thing. I was actually one of them. I made a Kekistani video within about 48 hours of it becoming a meme, but whatever, who cares? And then they show, there's this Confederate flag right next to it, which, yeah, that looks a little bit bad for Patriot Prayer to have the Confederate flag at their rallies. But, it doesn't really prove that Patriot Prayer is white nationalists necessarily. It just shows that this person was carrying this flag that appears to be a Confederate flag, and that they're standing next to somebody that has a Kekistani flag, who apparently the person believed that Kekistanis were alt-right. He just didn't know the difference. So, yeah, they bickered about that, the technicalities about that, and next they somehow got to looking at this photo. I guess the guy decided to show a different angle, which was a bad idea because it turns out that he was lying the whole time anyway. See? Take a look at that angle. In it, you'll see very clearly that this is not actually a Confederate flag that the guy is carrying. It simply is some sort of combination of three flags: the American flag, the Confederate flag, and then that snake flag that says "Don't tread on me" that a lot of people have who are libertarians. I don't remember what it's called, and I don't remember the exact origin story of that flag. I'm not one of the people that ever got into it. It's just not really who I am. But it looks like some combination of trying to say that you can be in favor of the United States, you can be in favor of the Confederacy, just don't tread on me. Just leave me alone. Mind your own business, all mine. We can coexist as whatever type of Americans we want to be according to this flag or something. So that to me is actually far more complicated than saying it's a Confederate flag. Obviously, I think everybody can agree that's not actually an accurate depiction of a Confederate flag. So once it was revealed after this new photo of the flag was shown where you can actually see the whole thing and you realize it's not actually a Confederate flag, well, the guy's immediate reaction was to say, "When did I ever say that it was a Confederate flag?" or something. So the other guy screen captured when he said that it was a Confederate flag. And then his response is, "That was a Confederate flag. The other full image of the flag was a different flag, also featuring the stars and bars. You racists only have so many images to pull from. Prove me wrong." So he's getting a little desperate. He's like, "Oh, no, actually that guy who was carrying the flag, that you can actually tell it's the same guy if you look close at the photos, because you can see it's the same guy with the sunglasses. Well, supposedly he actually put the first flag down and was carrying a different flag. So he had a Confederate flag, and then he decided to halfway through swap flags for photo ops, and this guy caught the two different versions. And you can't prove him wrong because, you know, he was the one who was there. He was the on-the-ground reporter. So I would have to go back in time to prove him wrong. Obviously, the onus is on me. The burden of proof is clearly on us to prove this guy wrong. So finally, the other guy in the conversation was like, "Wait, when you look at the middle part, you can see the E from the 'Don't tread on me' snake. If you actually look close, you can kind of see the writing in the middle. So you can actually tell that it's the same flag." And the guy just kind of says, "Nuh-uh, I don't see that." And it's like, well, weren't you the one who was there? Weren't you the one that was actually looking at this and taking photos? So obviously you knew that you were lying the whole time. And he's still trying. And this is just where I'm sorry, you know, I didn't feel a need to script this video because I felt like it was just worth it to have me kind of laughing along with this because it's so silly. This is where I'm just looking at this and I'm reminding myself that there are some people that have never really used social media a lot. Like I am a seasoned social media veteran. I have been on every form of social media aside from like Snapchat, but I was, mailing lists, bulletin boards, Friendster, MySpace, Tribe.net, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, everything that you can ever possibly imagine. So I've been argumentative my whole life. So I've been in all of these arguments, and I know how to deal with conversations and saying something that I might be sure about or might be unsure about, and making that clear and not saying something that I'm unsure about. I certainly don't really lie, because you learn very early on the internet that if you lie about things, you get caught. And I was just starting to use the internet a lot at a certain point in my life where I was already reaching the philosophical realization that it's not a good idea to go around lying all the time, because you get caught when you lie all the time. Anybody does, even if you're not using the internet. Lying all the time makes you miserable. But a lot of people haven't come to that realization, and I guess a lot of people just haven't used social media very much, and they don't understand that they just get caught lying over and over and over. And, it's funny to think about just how oblivious these people are to how everybody is perceiving them. Like, that's funny, but it's not funny that these people's lies, which are so obviously lies, literally do lead to violence. And they're just keeping it up. They're still going with it. They keep wanting to lie and lie and lie and get people hurt. They keep wanting to say that the Proud Boys and Patriot Prayer are Nazis, and they know that they don't have any evidence for it, but they don't care. They want people angry at these groups. They want to call them racists. They know that these people are being violently attacked, and they don't care. And that's... It boggles my mind. Like, I really can't actually relate to that feeling of pure, unjustified hatred. Maybe there's been a time in my life when I hated a group of people so much that I couldn't question whether or not they deserved it. And when they were trying to show to me that they weren't even what I thought that they were, I wouldn't listen. I think that there might have been points in my life when that was sort of the case. But my way of dealing with them was always, I'm going to mock you on the internet and I'm never going to hang out with you in real life. Neener, neener. That was about as far as I took it. And sure, maybe I was pretty mean. Maybe I made them feel pretty bad about themselves because I had my little playwright wit or whatever. But, I was not encouraging people to go attack these people. Ever. So, yeah, Antifas always lie. And they know that they're lying. And a lot of the time, I'm pretty sure, maybe most of the time, I don't know. And I wasn't lying about people. Like, I just didn't like these people when I was like that. Like, I didn't like these people. They were trying to say, well, you don't have a reason to not like me. You're an asshole. And I was like, well, you're not giving me a very good reason. You just called me an asshole. My biggest regret is that a number of them would invite me out to a beer after we would be in an argument for a number of months, and they would admit that I kind of won the argument and that they wanted to, patch things up because I seemed like maybe I was a cool guy, and I would never do it. Like, seriously, that happened at least 5 or 6 times that I got offers to go out to beers with these people that I had been in long internet altercations with, and I would never go. And I would be really mean about the invitation. Like, I'd be like, how dare you invite me? You're so beneath me. I regret acting like that. That was pretty rude. They definitely did not need me to be like that. But I certainly didn't, I certainly didn't tell them that I would be willing to make up and be friends, and then I spat on their offer and it was all just a trick. I really hope I didn't do that. I really, really hope I never did anything like that. If somebody remembers me doing that, I apologize. I definitely apologize. But I never told anyone to go beat him up. All right, that's all. Bye.